is D44-9WL. Woo! $54.46. Oh, 25.50. Oh, 54.63. Oh, 64.59. 25-11.
298.
Going fast.
Yeah, fast.
Whoa, 26-7. Wow. 24-45. Car 244. Woo! And 218. Wow. There's the last engine. 638. 609. Ow. 205. Oh my God, that horn. So 153. Woo! Cruise 13. $239.
Whoa.
5511. 2187. Wow. This train comes early. Woo! Here comes Canadian National 5606. TFM. Woo! 2653. Woo! 2839. Those are General Electric. This one's going super faster. 2279. Woo! 2224. 5519.
My ears burn.
Your life is nothing.
Round. 5708. Dexter is 3393 and 7369. Wow. Fifty-seven 49. Twenty-four 45. 24 45. CSX 789 and 77. Wow. That is a rare one. A rare one. you. That was an amazing. Yeah. 26-39. Yeah. And give me the Yes. 24-23. Oh my God! Yeah! Yeah! 57-92. That's what I'm talking about. First train on Mount Pleasant. Six ten.